Good morning. Welcome back to the Red Mic. Happy Wednesday. Glad you're here. Today we're going to talk about engagement. You can't fake it. Now, I'm talking about engagement in the workplace, not on social media, because clearly I don't know the first darn thing about engagement. Been doing this for almost 2 years. And anyway, uh, stop it. Engagement in the workplace, retention, program success, communication effectiveness, team collaboration, and leadership impact. These are all of the indicators that organizations say matter. And in some organizations, they quietly hope that nobody evaluates it too closely or tries to connect it back to the people at the top, because this is where leadership really can't hide. You can hide behind strategy decks. You can hide behind glossy town hall meetings and carefully rehearsed talking points. You can hide behind your budget slides and your timelines and your external factors. You can fake engagement for a while. You can massage financials. You can even limp along with inefficient processes longer than you should, especially if the mission sounds noble enough, but you cannot fake engagement. People in the workplace vote every day with their energy. They vote with their effort. They vote with their silence. And eventually, they vote with their feet. Don't know if you remember the show Cheers, Gen X, child of the 80s. There's a scene in Cheers that relates directly to this, I think. Sam and Diane are fighting, and she says, and I'm paraphrasing, hate is not the opposite of love, indifference is. Well, I mean, that's applicable here, because if you don't engage your employees, if they don't feel connected to the work, the mission, or the people leading them, they might not hate their job. They might not even dislike you. They just might stop caring, though. And that's worse. Disengagement is quiet. It doesn't complain. It doesn't push back. It doesn't argue in meetings. It just withdraws. It's like Peter in Office Space. I just don't care. If people don't understand their role, they disengage. If they don't feel heard, they stop talking. Not loudly, they stop talking permanently. Sure, whatever you want, boss. You're sitting in the meeting and they're just taking it all in. They're jotting things down, but they're a million miles away. If programs don't work, employees know it long before the executives ever see it on their reports. If communication is sloppy internally, rumors don't just appear, they rush to fill the vacuum. And if collaboration breaks down, silos don't just form, they harden into defensive walls, into us versus them. And honestly, if leadership impact is negative, turnover becomes your loudest, clearest, and most costly signal. These indicators don't actually measure employees, they measure leadership. They measure your leaders. Low engagement is not a workforce problem, it's a clarity problem. High turnover is not a loyalty problem, it's a trust problem. And poor communication is not a channel problem, it's a discipline problem. Weak collaboration isn't cultural, it's behavioral. People are going to react the way that they have been trained to react, the way they've been conditioned. If they feel like they are getting some type of positive, meaningful feedback, if they are engaged, if they are part of the mission instead of just a cog in the machinery, they're going to feel more engaged. They're going to care more. And the leadership impact of all of this, that's the thing that people don't like to look at, because it doesn't blink. It doesn't soften the edges or explain itself away. Looking into that kind of mirror, it's very reflective, obviously. And that's why this kind of measure makes a lot of people uncomfortable, because they have to look at themselves. Because remember, if you're pointing a finger, 3 of those fingers are pointing back at you. Dashboards can lie. Slide decks can be fudged. They can be curated. KPIs can be framed to tell a comforting story. But how your people react, that's the real truth. Because when those kind of indicators start flashing, the answer isn't another survey, a slogan, or a rebrand. It's not an engagement platform. It's not a quarterly initiative with a cute logo and a kickoff call. It reminds me, at a former employer, they talked about the Q for quality, and is everything Q oriented? And everybody made fun of it. I mean, everybody. I mean, are you doing your Q initiatives? No, I'm not. I'm just trying to get through the day because you know what, Mr. L, guy's last name started with an L. All you care about is your buddies at the country club. You don't really care about us. Again, it's not a quarterly initiative with a logo and a kickoff call. It's a change in how leadership actually shows up in meetings and decisions and conflict and in what gets rewarded or quietly ignored. You don't measure engagement to manage people. You have to measure engagement to manage yourself. Culture is not what you announce. It's what you tolerate. It's what you excuse. It's what you let slide when it's inconvenient to confront. The fastest way to improve these outcomes is not explaining them more. It's less talking and a lot more listening. And it's getting your people involved. That's how you're going to grow their engagement. That's how they are going to show that they care. And that's today's Red Mike message. I hope you found it interesting or helpful. I hope you will give me a like, a follow, and a share. Yeah, engage with me a little bit. I love you guys. I'll see you again tomorrow. By the way, a preview of hashtag Fun Friday. You may have seen that Southwest has changed the way they get people on the planes now and how they allow you to have seats and all of that. Personally, I think old Herb is probably spinning in his grave, but so maybe it's not going to be a hashtag Fun Friday. Maybe it's going to be a not fun Friday because I loved Southwest and it's just not the same. Anyway, I'll see you again tomorrow. And until next time, don't forget, as always, life is short. Drink the bourbon.